Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. 90% of cargo and goods worldwide are transported by ships, especially container ships. That makes container ships larger and larger in design as well. What do you think is the genius technique used to dock massive container ships at crowded ports? With over 10 billion tons of goods carried yearly, ports play a crucial role in world trade today. The busiest ports in the world, like Rotterdam, Singapore, and Shanghai, enable the interchange of products valued at trillions of dollars. "20-foot equivalent units, or TEUs, were traded globally in 2020, with Asia accounting for most imports and exports. More than 90% of international trade is now conducted by sea, thanks to the rise of containerization. With over 50,000 vessels operating today, container ships are the most economical and effective way to move cargo across large distances. Container ships like the OOCL Hong Kong require several exact maneuvers to dock. The ship slows down and starts to turn into the berth as soon as it arrives. The last part of the journey is navigated with the help of tugboats, and the ship is secured with mooring lines. Cranes aboard the ship are positioned once it's alongside, and container gantry cranes on the dock start loading and unloading cargo. Depending on the size of the ship and the volume of goods, the full operation from arrival to departure may take between 24 and 48 hours. Before docking, tugboats turn container ships to make the berthing procedure safer and more effective. The tugboats assist in aligning the ship with the dock by rotating it, which permits a straight-on approach and lowers the possibility of an accident or damage to the ship, pier, or other infrastructure. With this maneuver, the ship can also expose its cargo doors to the dock, which expedites the loading and unloading procedure. One of the most important parts of docking is using tugboats correctly. A tugboat assists the ship into its berth by linking up to the ship's bow or stern with a tow line. The harbor pilot directs the tugboat, instructing it where to position itself and how to execute the maneuver. Once attached, the tugboat adjusts the tow line's length and begins to pull or push the ship into its berth. The tugboat's powerful engines, in this case 5,700 horsepower, are carefully controlled to provide the necessary tension on the rope, up to 72.4 tons, to guide the ship into its designated docking area safely. Once the container ship is moored, only half the job is done. The capacity and speed of cargo handling have been transformed, thanks to modern port unloading methods for container ships. Automated gantry cranes are among the most sophisticated techniques, They can unload containers at a rate of 30 to 40 movements per hour, as opposed to 10 to 15 movements per hour for conventional cranes. The sophisticated sensors and algorithms that these cranes are outfitted with allow for more accurate container placement and shorter wait times. Furthermore, certain ports have developed double cycle operations, which can result in up to a 50% increase in productivity by having two cranes work simultaneously to unload containers from both sides of the ship. It may now be done in 12 to 18 hours as opposed to 2 to 3 days, according to the International Association of Ports and Harbors for the average container ship. Significant cost savings and less traffic at the ports are the outcomes of this. But shipping and their unloading is becoming a much more advanced operation. An automated terminal is a contemporary container terminal that streamlines the container handling procedures with robotics and cutting-edge technology. In an automated terminal, automated guided vehicles carry containers, and automated stacking cranes stack them, reducing the need for human interaction and maximizing productivity. The Port of Rotterdam's Maasvlakte 2 terminal is a shining example of an automated terminal. With 16 ASCs and 76 AGVs, it opened in 2015 and can handle up to 2.7 million TEUs annually. The automation system at the port guarantees accurate positioning of containers, cutting down on wait times and boosting output. Thanks to its cutting-edge remote technologies, Maasvlakte 2 has emerged as one of the world's most productive container ports. Another innovative system in operation is the Smart Air Rail system. To increase container transportation efficiency, a Smart Air Rail container transport system integrates the concepts of rail and air logistics. This technology moves containers quickly and accurately between various locations within a port by using suspended, automated pods that move along elevated tracks. This groundbreaking technique was originally put into use at China's port of Qingdao. Here, by easing traffic on the ground and accelerating container transportation, the Smart Air Rail system greatly expedited operations. Another type of ship that has to be unloaded is bulk carriers. At ports like Bellevue Port and Waterford, unloading bulk carriers entails several meticulous procedures to guarantee the effective and secure handling of bulk commodities like ores, coal, and grain. The ship is firmly moored to the port upon arrival. Next, specialized unloading machinery is used, including grab cranes or continuous ship unloaders. The bulk material is scooped or conveyed by this equipment from the ship's hold. After being moved, the material is funneled onto conveyor belts using hoppers. The bulk material is transported by these belts either directly to trucks and trains for distribution or to storage facilities. Systems for suppressing dust are frequently employed to reduce environmental effects. Real-time monitoring makes sure that inventory is managed accurately and operations always run smoothly. When bulk carriers cannot dock directly into a port for various reasons, including draft constraints, berth availability, or cargo handling limitations, a logistical alternative known as transshipment is employed. During this procedure, the bulk carrier anchors offshore, and the cargo is moved to smaller, specially built vessels called transshipment vessels. These ships load the cargo from the bulk carrier and move it to a port or another ship for additional transportation. They are usually outfitted with cranes or grabs. There are multiple steps in the transshipment process. Initially, the transshipment vessel approaches alongside the bulk carrier after it has anchored offshore. Then, using cranes or grabs, the cargo is moved from the bulk carrier to the transshipment vessel. The transshipment vessel sails to the port or another vessel to unload the cargo when it's completely loaded. Several iterations of this process are possible, contingent on the volume of cargo and port restrictions. The transshipment procedure is frequently employed when managing substantial amounts of goods too big for a single port facility or in areas with inadequate port infrastructure. Ship-to-ship operations are when two vessels at sea exchange cargo, such as bulk cargoes, liquefied gases, oil, or petroleum products. Strict instructions and checklists are followed during this procedure to guarantee efficiency and safety. Usually, a maneuvering vessel approaches alongside a mother vessel to accept the cargo, and the mother vessel carries the cargo. The procedure starts with the mobility of equipment from the shore, such as fenders and hoses. After that, the two vessels come together at a prearranged spot, with the maneuvering craft approaching the mother vessel from the side. The hoses are connected to enable the cargo transfer, and the vessels are fastened together by moorings. The vessels keep a constant course and speed throughout the process, with the maneuvering vessel making corrections as needed. After the cargo has been moved, the vessels split off, and the equipment is demobilized before being brought back to shore. In regions where port facilities are scarce or non-existent, STS activities are frequently utilized, particularly in the oil and gas sector. Careful planning, coordination, and execution of the procedure are necessary to guarantee a secure and effective cargo transfer. Some of the largest ships ever conceived are currently sailing our oceans. They are built to travel long distances in deep water, but need help in areas with limited access. That is where tugboats and different unloading systems make the process so much easier. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.